Good afternoon. This is the market update for buy sell short for Thursday, December 12th. Last couple of days been pretty difficult. Downward pressure, of course, taper talk. We've got a lot of tax selling out there. We've got funds and traders booking their gains for the year, not wanting to give back stuff. And then we also had the golden cross failure, which is pretty rare on the 15-minute time frame. We talked about this in the last video, and on the rare occasions where we do see a failure, the typical downside move, as I mentioned, was about 200 points, which is exactly what we hit on today's bottom. Fridays, for some reason, tend to be an update if we've got weakness throughout the week. Now, we saw a very nice reversal on the market today, as you can see here on the 15-minute chart. It ended up selling off the last 30 minutes, but bodes well for tomorrow's session. If we look at the McClellan oscillator, something we pay attention to whenever we get sell-offs in the market, we're down, as of yesterday, down to the negative 50 zone. We really get a bottom 99, but we also tend to get big bounces when we hit that 40, 50, 60 zone on the McClellan oscillator, and we're already in that zone right now, so a bounce right now would not be out of the question. If we look at the Dow daily chart, you can see here I've redrawn the lines. 50-day moving average looks like it is a possible bounce magnet. Now, when we were talking about the possibility of having a sell-off in the market when we hit that high late in November, I had mentioned that the last two times we'd seen RSI up this high, that we had seen about 1,000-point sell-off over the course of 2 to 3 weeks each time. 1,000-point sell-off would take us all the way down to the 200-day moving average. While it is a possibility, I'm not really leaning towards that level. This is a great bounce spot on the Dow right now. And if we look at the Dow Transports, which is another indicator or another indice that we actually rely on a little bit more, this candle you see here after that large sell-off yesterday above the 50-day moving average can many times indicate a bounce is at hand. If you look at previous big sell-offs, we've had these kind of tailing indecision reversal days that have marked a bounce in the market. The other thing to note is extreme level of MACD here, extreme negative MACD, and that has been an excellent indicator for a bounce in the markets. You can see the last time we got it was after that extended sell-off, and we had a big move a few days later. The next day, and continued over the following few days. Same thing back here in August when we had this extreme level. We got a big bounce back over the course of a couple of days. So the extreme MACD level, the candle we have today, suggests that we get a bounce next week. Also, keep in mind, we go January popper shopping the middle of the month almost every year. December 15th is usually my time frame for shopping. That is next week. Why does December 15th end up being the day? We've been doing this many, many years. 12-year anniversary for buy, sell, short. This will be our 12th annual January popper list that will be going out in the next few days. Monster winners over the last decade from that list, so be ready for that. But monitoring the markets this time of the year for the last decade, December 15th tends to be the time to start to accumulate those plays, and we'll go into it a little bit more towards the end of the video. I wanted to go over some more charts, but just a little preemptive post or talk about that. Russell. Remember the last time we had a little bit of a sell-off about a week ago. Then we had a nice big bounce back day. Russell was actually green today. Traded underneath the 50-day moving average yesterday. Green today. Let's see if we can get that pop tomorrow. We've got extreme negative MACD, stochastics at the 20 level. This I would view as very bullish. A continuation move upward on the Russell tomorrow would give me very nice confidence to begin our accumulation of our January popper plays. But first, let's go into a couple of stock plays. INUV, great from our ad on Tuesday. Yesterday, we got a nice little spike high to $1.57, but the penny pinchers, the penny flippers jumped into this stock, and that is the reason why you got that alert to book half gains, $1.50 plus. We took the 10 cents on a half position only because every time certain people post on stocks, they get a pop and a tank, and that's exactly what we saw here, right back to the trend line. Let's see if we can get that bounce now. We did not get the positive MACD cross, so that is a possibility tomorrow. Social media stocks have been on fire. Twitter, Facebook, big up moves over the last few days, and eventually that's going to spill into these other profitable stocks. And, you know, we've got stochastics in the basement. ETRM. This was another trade alert today, late in the chat room. We got in at $1.85. We were looking for a move to 2, hit 201 going into the close. Nothing like a 15-cent, almost 10% gain in less than an hour. And that, again, was a trade that we posted on the new private feed. Definitely sign up for that for all members. So make sure you sign up for it. I emailed out the details on how to do that, but that was a nice 15-cent scalp. You can set it up to get alerts to your phone, text messages if you're not in the chat room, but a very nice winner first in the chat room. Another stock that looks very interesting. It's one of our January popper plays. The list has not gone out yet, but this was on the January popper playlist. Already started its move today. Could see a continuation move tomorrow. The list that I'm going to send out, we are going to miss some plays, but that is a good thing. Usually what I time, or when I start timing my edition, or when I start to begin accumulating these January popper plays, I like to see a couple of my January popper watch plays start to move. When we start to see that early moves, already starting to see a couple of them start to take off, that is a good sign. So going to have probably our first January popper play going out tomorrow. So be ready for that. Of course, it's all going to depend on the market. AEZS could see a nice move to the 50-day moving average, 133 over the next day. Positive MACD cross. Stochastics up through 50. RSI up through 50. Looks really good. Wanted to mention SSYS. What you're seeing happening in the market right now is fund managers, especially the ones that have sucked all year long and have poor performance, they want to be in the winning stocks going into year end so that they can lie to people who don't know any better next year saying, see, I was great. I was long Facebook. I was long Twitter, etc. 3D stocks, monster move on these. SSYS, what we're probably going to see happen going into the end of the year is these leader stocks, the big movers of the year, get chased even higher by the funds chasing performance into year end. 125 is the break, and it could give a nice $10 plus upside into year end. Nice uptrend in place. If you were playing this one, stops. If you gave it a little bit of rope, 115, 116. If you gave it a tiny little bit of rope, you would add a 123 break with 120 stops. And again, a great way to play these is the options. You don't have to put out that much cash. But this is a large cap play to consider along the lines of what we're seeing on Twitter and Facebook. As for the January popper plays, that list is going to go out hopefully this weekend. Still working on it. Love the plays, potential plays that we have coming on it. Possibly going to be a play tomorrow. Now, the way we are going to approach these January popper plays, as we do every year, initial position is never a full position because there is always the risk for some continued downside move from tax sellers. These are predominantly stocks. 99% of them will be under $5. 99.5% will be under $3. It's usually the price range that gives the biggest moves every January, December into January. Initial position, half position. Always give yourself some ammo in case we do not get the absolute bottom so that we can add possible dips lower. These are considered 2 to 4 week plays through the first/second week of January is what we're looking at. There's going to be plays slowly rolling out starting next week, actually possibly starting tomorrow over the next couple of weeks, whereas we're not going to buy every single one of them next week. We're going to slowly accumulate them over the next couple of weeks, Consider it a swing strategy into the middle of January. Again, if you've got any questions, shoot me an email on this or hit me up in the chat room. This is one of our biggest money makers of the year every year. So looking forward to that big time. Anyway, that's it for the video. Any questions, shoot me an email. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the chat room tomorrow. Have a great night.